13th Omnia Podcast. I am Esk, one of the leaders in Omnia. I'm currently trying to finish out construction.
What? Finish out what?
Construction.
Oh, construction.
Yeah.
Mine kind of cut out from me.
I'll lean forward a bit.
Yo, my name is Max, or Hey Boxjongen, or on screen. And, most people probably know me, but yeah, I'm Admiral in Omnia, 200 mil all 2 years ago, and currently speedrunning UAM.
Yo, I'm Barlo. I am a 2 banana in Omnia, and I am doing 200 mil Slayer.
Hey, my name is Doozy. I'm a lieutenant in Omnia, and I'm currently working my way through ORC and mining.
What's going on, guys? I'm Hedge Funds, and I'm a recruit, and I'm working towards some base skills right now.
Hi, I'm Storm. I'm currently captain in Omnia, and I'm working on just making the EHP go up. I'm kind of doing every skill at the moment.
Not much has changed then.
Not much has changed.
Cool.
If Ebb goes up, I'm happy.
Good way to think about it. So, first topic for today is more of a opinions one than what we know about it, but what do you think about the Varlamore expansion? Feel free, anyone, to chip in.
There are parts of it that are exciting. Obviously, we know so little about it that it's kind of hard to form a complete opinion on what it could be. The Fortis Coliseum is obviously pretty cool for PVMing. The whole, what is it, Blue Inferno people nickname it. And then the only other thing we've even got info on was the Hunters Guild, which I'm kind of in the middle of. There are parts of it that look good, but I'm just concerned with the way they'll balance it properly.
I think quite a few people are worried that they're gonna make it just Slayer for Hunter or move Black Chins out the wilderness is the two big things I've heard.
I mean, the Slayer part is pretty much confirmed, right? They're gonna do something like contracts.
Yeah.
Well, no, they kind of. They did say that they changed it so that it's not you hunt X amount anymore. It's you hunt until you get a drop. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't read the changes actually. Let me pull those up.
Yeah, they changed it so it's now you hunt till you get X drop, and that's the end of the contract as such.
Like a rare hunter meat or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
According to them,
that's
it's
much
like
better. I like that.
8 to 10 minutes per. Well, I will call it a task in this case, but I can imagine because they within the time they mentioned travel time, and I can imagine they're not the most efficient at like traveling places. So if it's then actually like 5 minutes or something, that might be a huge XP increase on what they actually plan it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think with anything with Jagex and XP values, it might be way under or it might be way over.
Yeah, and not properly tested. I think overall, though, Varlamore I find very interesting. It's finally some content that is just not just copy paste from RS3 again. So I'm somewhat excited for that, for actual new things. Just discovering potentially new methods, like refining existing ones, like we saw with 3Tick4G being somewhat optimized with the TOA release, stuff like that. Is definitely something I'm interested in with the new expansion.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's got a lot of potential. I mean, Zaya brought in 2-tick swords, so I think we definitely could see something. Like, from what they've released, it looks like there's some mining spot, there's an Agi course icon. So depending
a fishing
on
spot at that dock in the southwest, so potentially another like lobster spot or something maybe.
Yeah, the agility spot was like on top of a dinosaur corpse or something,
worm.
right?
It just screams Anachronia for anyone.
It really
that knows.
does.
It does.
What's that?
It's a island on RS3 where the entire island is essentially one agility course. Like you run around the outside of the island, but it's like a fossil island. It's where they put the dinosaurs when they brought them into RS3. So
okay. Yeah, the edgy cores definitely caught my attention. Maybe we get like a new, like better version of Ardy or something. Probably not. It's probably
I
gonna
feel
be
like it's
Fortnite.
gonna be
but-
mid-level.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like they're gonna aim for like
I'm
an
thinking probably around-
alternative to Sears or something.
Maybe there's
Yeah, probably
different
around
routes you
70
can
or something,
take.
maybe.
Maybe different routes you can take, like on the worm. Even though
Yeah,
it seems
that's
pretty straightforward though.
as I said, that's kind of what they've
Yeah.
done with Anachronia. You can get like only a certain distance round with different agility levels,
Yeah.
so it could
Mhm.
be
If
interesting.
they're
to
smart, they do something like that, yeah. So they like have content for high and mid level at the same time. But
Yeah, and you have a very
know.
visual goal while you're doing it. You're like, oh my god, once I reach this level, I can finally cross this obstacle. I'm sure a lot of us felt that way when we were like playing when we were much younger. Of like, oh my god, I can finally use this agility shortcut, like the Taverny Dungeon one, for example.
Finally got my hands on Rune. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, stuff like that. And I that's something I do like with Anachronia. So I hope to see a similar thing with that agility course.
I don't know what that is, Anachronia, but isn't like the picture on the map just like a circle?
Yeah,
How do you
Mhm.
have like different accessible points on,
yeah, that
on like a circle? I don't-
Well,
I don't know.
yeah,
It kind of looks like a spine of a giant like dragon or worm or
Yeah,
something. So
I
maybe you
mean-
can only
Yeah.
get to a certain point and then fall off if you don't have the agility level to get past.
yeah. The icon is also just where the course starts. It doesn't necessarily mean it's only on that area.
True, yeah.
Maybe there are multiple floors, yeah, that you can't see
Yeah.
on this level.
Because
It
there's a
could
dungeon
also-
in the middle of it as well. So
It could also
knows?
just go down that entire coastline for all we know until we actually see it. We won't know how far it like stretches.
yeah.
Mm.
There's really not a lot in the town itself from this screenshot. Like there's just
Mhm.
there's a bank and a couple of
Just
shops and that's
Priff.
it.
It's just Priftiness.
Do you have like the screenshot with the icons on? I can't find that
It
one.
should be in one of the logs.
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah.
I was thinking they would probably scale the Agi course kind of like Priff, how you can access it earlier, but it's like, it's not that good until, I don't know what level it takes over Ardy, but it's pretty high. I was thinking they'd probably just do the same thing.
I
like
think
that.
91 you stop failing proof, but
Yeah, 91
Yeah.
Pref, 96 RD.
So it's like it's pretty bad before then, right?
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
not
I mean-
awful.
yeah.
It's not. There's only one obstacle that you can like fall off, and then you have to restart the course. All of the others you can just get straight back on. So not as punishing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it is just a circle, I imagine they'd probably do something like that versus just like a wreck to do it and then the same rate at every level.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not empty. It's a big space that they've laid out, and
Mhm.
my concern is it's just going to be a whole bunch of nothing.
I mean,
like,
it's
all
mainly going to be a
hotspots.
hunter, I think. Like the hunter
Yeah.
guilds will like use all of the space with all the
Mhm.
antelopes and whatever other monsters they are proposing.
There's also like 3 separate hunter spots outside the guild just on the island alone. So it
Yeah.
kind of feels like it's a big hunter
yeah, it's just
expansion more than anything
yeah.
else, really.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, this is only one area as well of the proposed expansion.
You have like
so
4 or 5 areas, yeah.
Maybe would it be possible to load up the map on the stream so people know what we're looking at, or would that be a hassle?
Probably a bit of
potentially,
a hassle.
Okay, fine then.
I can just link
I was
the
just
blog.
thinking because we were talking about it, like
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Um, what. Yeah, it's something that I was thinking about as well. Like looking at the map, it's such a big city, and I really hope that it has somewhat of a capital feeling to it. Like Priff, you see some people pass sometimes, and it is really nice to just see more places in the game that have like a bustling community somewhat,
Mm-hmm.
rather than just the standard places we always see people like in the craft guild.
Yeah. It would be nice to have more viable areas to
Yeah.
skill. Like, obviously, you can skill at any bank, but craft guild's just so convenient that most people just go there. They can't
Yeah.
be bothered to run 2 minutes to get to a bank to then bank stand.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, I
it
guess.
depends where the teleport comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if it comes in the middle of the bazaar, that's kind of it's a bit away from any bank, really. But
Yeah, but I think also just near another skilling method, right? Because for example, a lot of people also bank stand in Yanil, so they can easily go to Nightmare Zone after.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
Yeah.
so I feel like here, for example, the Hunter Guild bank might become somewhat more busy, like we see with the Farm Guild, because people need to do their contracts or they need to do their tasks, or just if a decent hunter method is there, we might actually see people around and not just go do a skill and just have it be an empty place.
yeah, I can see the 100 Guild Bank getting popular.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a
The only
code board
other-
there?
I'd assume
I would imagine.
probably
They
It's
said
the-
it'll probably be
uh,
added to the cape, right?
yeah, that's what they said. They will be adding it to the Hunter Cape as an unlock, though, from what I understood.
Mm.
I
because
really
it,
hope it's not a 5-day use
It-
kind of fucking
Ooh.
bullshit.
yeah,
Probably
it-
not.
it was something with like you need to unlock the Quetzal whistle and
Yeah.
then you can add it to the cape.
Okay,
And
that's
that gets you
not
to
bad.
teleport.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and that gives you
Okay,
the
so you're gonna have
teleport.
to do contracts to get it.
Yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
mean, I think the contracts could definitely be. Well, it depends on how long they take, but I think there could be some form of like meta if you add
Yeah.
multi-skilling in it, and people
Mhm.
will do that shit. So
Yay, more multi-skilling. My favorite.
yeah, it's not great.
I unironically love multi-skilling, so I'm hyped for it.
Well,
I
considering
mean,
you
Hunter's
do
already
every
drift
skill
now.
every week.
Yeah, but I'm not able to do driftnet.
Oh yeah,
Well,
you're fishing done.
I hate DriftNet, so I mean, if Hunter's getting changed to like a different multi-skill that's not like
I mean, you will need like
Shit.
herbal or crafting to multi-skill or fire making.
Oh, I can't
Yes, you
wait
can
to
also-
see.
Fire
Fire
making
making.
with fire
Fletcher.
making with a lock basket will actually be really good, I think. So you can fit like 2 inventories if you can empty the
Mhm.
lock basket anywhere.
I can just see Max running across Varlamore, fucking one tick lighting logs as he runs off to hunt an antelope.
Yep.
Anything to
I mean-
get firebrands off the table, man.
True.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing about this is like, I know they said they'll lock it behind a quest, but I wonder is it going to be the same level that Zia was locked behind, where you could just have a fresh account do it immediately, or if this is going to be something where you have to have part of the Zia quest line done already
Mhm.
to even get into
Yeah.
Varlamore.
I think you need part of the quest done, yeah.
Well, what they
They-
said was the area will expand on the latest story from Kingdom
Which is a
Divided,
Kingdom Divided, right?
but I
So-
don't think they said it was a requirement to get there.
Okay.
I doubt that they're going to introduce something this size and then cut off people from accessing it,
Yeah, I don't think
Mm,
they would.
I don't
especially
know
after they
because
added the high schools. They obviously care about the skiller community.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
joke.
but at the same time though, like for example, there's so much content locked behind Regicide
True.
for
Yeah.
Underground Pass, and so in a similar way, it could be that it's also cut off at Kingdom Divided, but it really depends on how much further they want to take the Zaya storyline. I think.
Yeah. I think that
Um,
was also. I don't think there have been many sort of new expansions of that size that they've
Oh, yeah, for
limited
sure.
to. Like the Regicide's a good point, but I think that was before Old School really sort of
yeah.
picked up as much as it has.
Yeah, I
Oh.
think the biggest one since then has been Priv, if I'm not mistaken.
Priff, yeah.
Dark
I mean, that
Mail.
was kind of continuing
True
on.
Darkmirror,
They
yeah.
couldn't really not put Prif behind stuff like
Yeah,
Regicide
yeah,
when it's part of
yeah,
that whole
exactly.
quest line.
Yeah, Priv's also
Um,
kind of small in like
Yeah,
regards. Like if you compare it to Zia, yeah.
They've done quite a decent. Well, they've made an effort to make everything on Zaya at least accessible to level 3s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the
There's
only
no
thing
reason they
really
have
is
to do that, though. Like, if they want this to be a big expansion to Zia, they can absolutely just stick it behind the Kingdom Divided, and then it's like... Because I also don't think a Kingdom Divided is that high requirements in terms of quests. Isn't it like just 70s? So it's not like it's...
Even less.
Yeah, it's not hard unless
Like
you've
you can
got 10
get you can
health.
get there in like 2 weeks from or 2 or 3 weeks from like a
Yeah,
fresh account,
for sure.
probably. So
Yeah,
Something
it's
that
only
also
really level 3s.
something that also really captures my attention when I look at this map is the Fortis Aqueduct and the Fortis Corton, or whatever it's called.
Sailing.
Because those kind of feel like a setup for example, sailing or something. Like it really looks
Yeah.
like a big dock.
Could be a transport network
yeah.
like the
The
mine
aqueduct,
carts.
not really, but
Yeah, but
The
like
aqueduct
Corton
is
for sure.
mostly for design, but
Oh,
I'd agree that the Cordis, what was it
port
called?
thing.
Coffin. Okay.
Cothon, whatever.
Yeah, the big port does
yeah, that
kind
is
of
definitely
look like
sailing.
they're going to bring sailing into it at least somehow this way. Like maybe this is an area you can sail to or something
Yeah,
like that, or
yeah.
somewhere you can take off from.
Maybe it's player and ports.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll go down well.
Could be.
I mean-
hope Sailing is our player on ports. But yeah, like I don't know, the general idea of like having the water flow in through an aqueduct and then also into the Ortis farm and stuff. It is really interesting to me what they're planning with that, especially because we're looking at a water expansion.
Yeah. I think it's mainly just for like lore purposes. How they same
Oh,
same as
could
like the
be, could
Romans.
be.
This is kind of
Yeah.
like a Roman city. How they transported water into the
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
But yeah,
from, like, the
aqueduct,
mountains.
Colosseum.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really think it has more meaning than just like for lore reasons. Maybe you like need to repair it in a quest or something. But
Oh yeah.
I could see it being part of the quest, but yeah, I don't know if
see
it'll
that
have
as
practical
well.
reasons outside
Yeah.
that.
Happy coincidence.
Yeah, I was just thinking it would be an easy transport way of, for example, the Quati headquarters to Ralos Royce. Stuff like that, like
Yeah.
the kayaking we have seen before.
you're saying words, bro.
Yeah, I'm just reading the map, honestly.
Yeah, I guess that could be. Could be a way to
Mm-hmm.
kind of
It
quick,
definitely looks like
quick
there's a
travel from
charter
the
ship.
city out to the left. But
Yeah.
The little boats in the actual harbour that look static and look similar to the charter ships. So I would imagine
for
that
sure.
that's definitely a transport route. In
yeah,
and
I mean,
out.
there's already a trading port to the southeast though, and another one to the kind of southwest in the
Yeah,
Sunset
it might
Coast.
be
So they
a,
already have
like-
a bunch of places for charters if they wanted to put them there.
It might be a diary, because that's the other thing. Varlamore could potentially bring its own achievement diary.
True.
I'd say it would, to be fair, because like Zia did, right? And this is as
Yeah.
big as,
Yeah.
if not going to be bigger than Zia, especially when part 2 is out. So like,
Yeah,
I could easily see this having diary.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, because it's all split up, are we going to get a diary at the very end, or is the diary going to come with this first part, but you can only do
Oh.
certain tasks?
Surely they have to put the diary at the end. There's so little point in releasing a diary,
Yeah.
but you can only do half the tasks.
It would be kind of cool if like you're able to finish the medium diary, but then aren't able to do the elite one yet.
Well,
or
I mean,
something.
like, some of the tasks are question marked out, or like missing some info, and as you get each area, you're then able to do them.
Yeah.
Rather than
That kind of
just.
feels... I don't know
Well,
about that.
It means that
Yeah,
when the
I don't-
final area drops, you don't have to do everything at once.
I would
Or
rather
redo
drop
stuff.
everything at once.
Fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of like if they release like grayed out stuff, it's kind of like I
mean-
don't know. It's spoilers, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like
Yeah.
that.
But like, I think with necromancy as well, there was only an easy and a medium diary, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do something like that, where first you do get just easy and medium, and then hard and elite will be added on to later.
I wouldn't mind them
Honestly.
doing it kind of that way, but the way that Esk mentioned, where it was like just some of it is question marked out, like maybe you're missing like 3 easy tasks or something. That
Well,
feels a bit weird to me.
They probably don't even know what. They probably have like a rough idea for the other areas, but aren't like entirely sure themselves. So
Yeah.
I think it
So
does.
what
open-
piece of clothing are we getting with the diary? Because we have what?
That's the other thing. We have every slot.
New
Do
slot,
we?
maybe? Oh.
Pocket slot.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, because the cape is the diary cape, or am I
We
missing
have
something?
RD
Oh, I
clothing.
think
right,
like-
RD cape.
yeah,
I
you've-
forgot about it. I forgot about it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
the
have
helm from Kandarin, boots from Fremnik, RD cape, the ring from Lumbridge Draenor.
Wildy
What else am I
sword.
missing?
The
Varrock
Ame.
sword. Or
Banner,
Varg
sword,
body.
shield.
Varrock sword. All right.
Yes. We'll start with S, man.
Is there gloves?
Yeah,
Garanja,
Garanja.
man,
Oh
Yep.
my god, yeah.
dork. But what if
This
they
man
just add a
does,
new like slot, an item slot at some point?
Well, just for
Auras.
this.
No, not just for this, but at some point they
general.
will
I don't know,
probably.
There
What
could be
pocket?
some Fortnite
I mean, I
shit.
can see them bringing in a pocket slot
Pocket.
like they have in RS3.
I mean,
Like it's
technically,
a
there
slot,
is
right?
one.
Like
Yeah.
There is a hidden pocket slot, which is how you
Wow.
get the BA
True.
icons underneath you
Oh,
and the
yeah.
glowing soul wars.
that's a good
Is
point,
that
actually.
like an extra 10 invent slots or something?
No, it's
That'd
just
that'd make barrel fishing real good, man.
No, you put like a book in it or something.
You get
I could
a
imagine
toolkit.
Yeah, like-
auras, so,
or RS3 has like a spring cleaner or anything else that you want to put there can just sit there.
yeah, or
Yeah,
a
it'd be
tool
interesting.
as well, right? Or not? No, never mind. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be an interesting thing. Maybe diary, and then are they gonna add a additional? What could they add? Like, what would you want it to do as well?
Hunter perk.
I think, I mean, if there is a diary, it's like almost confirmed there's going to be something to do with Hunter in it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
again, this is
hugely. I mean,
only
this.
one of the 4 areas, so
I mean, the initial expansion is very hunter based, but like I said, if there's 3 other areas, so the next one could be, I don't know, entirely or mostly mining based, and then mostly woodcutting based or whatever. And then maybe even a sailing one eventually, because
I think
by the time you get
Rimcroft-
around to releasing a 4th one,
yeah, if they're
Good
going
chance sailing's already out.
guilds, I think RC could be an easy guild for them to go for.
RC would be probably a big one as well. It'd be one that a lot of people would be after, especially if it changes the RC meta, because let's be real, not a lot of people actually enjoy the RC meta, especially a casual player. They really don't like it, so
Well, they got Guardians of the Rift.
They got the
which-
rift, man. Everybody's rifting their fucking heads off.
yeah.
Shout out to small.
No, not today.
Not today. Damn. No, but I feel like the casual players are somewhat content now that they have Guardians of the Rift, or like they just do that till 77, then they go to Zaya, or they
Yeah,
just keep doing.
I think
Guardians of the
RC is
Rift.
not as hated anymore. I mean, it's still slow, and like fucking
It-
Reddit hates slow stuff, but
Yeah. If anything, I feel like mining is way more hated.
Yeah,
because no one
they're
understands how
hating on
people
mining
can
now.
mine.
mining
Yeah.
is
So they
slow
have
RC.
VM. What do you mean? It's just
No,
Yeah,
no.
but-
you have to learn VM. They don't want to do anything.
Yeah, casuals do not understand VM. I've noticed, even though it's very simple.
I mean,
But
I
and there's
managed
like
it,
4
so
plugins to tell you exactly what to do. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
I don't know.
mining's
I mean,
getting
there's-
hate because of the TOA shit that happened,
yeah,
and now they're wanting shooting stars to last like 10 times longer or whatever the fuck they said they're gonna do.
I think it only drains for you like individually now or something like that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah, it'll just last longer. Just
I had someone in like tell me in DM today that the shooting star update is actually gonna be like redwoods for mining. If you can get like 25 to 30k an hour, just like fully AFK, that's like the same ratio
Yeah, it's gonna
as
be great.
redwoods to 1.5 tactics.
honestly, I
Ah.
wouldn't mind that too much. I feel like.
Yeah,
be fine as
need to,
a-
like find
as an
a
AFK
star and
method.
then just like if you have to AFK for like 20 minutes or something, you can just like look for a star and do that shit for some mining XP.
Yeah.
and I guess you get the benefit of
Oh, yeah, you
being able
bang-
to
oh,
just throw any extra stardust into the ring, right?
You
So-
fucking banks dust as well. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Cringe.
Oh, that's stored XP.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna bake pies at the crafting guild stars when that comes, man. It's gonna be sick.
People are
They're
gonna be
there for
back
like an
calling
hour,
stars.
The Safi special.
Yeah.
It's like an hour of pie mining.
Yeah, actually.
Oh no.
We love baking pies.
Yeah.
Baking pies is fine. Trying to shoehorn them into every other method is where I draw the line.
Cooking
Cool.
to 0 time.
Oh, please stop. Had enough as it is.
I don't know. I think it could potentially be good, especially with how they're listening to the community a bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, the changes to the hunter contracts is very, very good. I'm glad they made that change.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
So we'll see if they continue to make changes based on feedback. Then
yeah,
this could
that's
be a very good expansion. But we'll just have to wait and see. Really, like it's not into what next year anyway.
Yes, yeah. I think they said early 2024.
Wait, what? Oh yeah, this is 2024 next
Yeah.
year.
I can't tell what's
You're a
worse: people
Nate
forgetting
now.
what day it is, or people forgetting what year it is.
It's the neat life, isn't
A whole
it?
nother level of neat here.
Man,
Yeah.
I still live in 2012. Let's be real. Everyone
Yeah.
is.
2012.
Yeah, 2012 is like
2012.
that sounds like normal 2012, and then you like
Bro,
What are you on about?
if you said, if you said
It's like 11 years
2019, I
ago.
would have understood with COVID. But what?
2012, man.
My God, Max.
Was
people will
UIM even
understand.
released in 2012?
Yeah, 2012 was pretty boost.
No, UAM wasn't around in 2012. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, old school was
OSRs didn't come until 2013.
Yeah, old school was
Old school
2013 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Ops 2 was 2012.
Alright, to be fair, that game kind
Ooh,
of snapped. So.
Gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Missing out.
I'd go back.
I'd go back just to start playing sooner.
Same.
Well, I would not. I'd go back and stop myself from playing.
I was bringing tick manipulation to the people.
Yeah.
I would be the Jesus of old school.
Nailed to a cross, yeah. Sounds about right.
That's definitely a new sentence. I don't think anyone's ever said that one before.
Christ.
So the second and last question we have for today is sailing. Are you excited or are you not?
I mean, we like skilling, right? So we kind of have to be excited for a new skill. No?
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as the mechanics are done properly, I'm fine. But obviously, I know what they showed wasn't actually the mechanics of the gameplay. They haven't really worked out yet.
No,
but it looked so clunky. So if it's anything like that, I'm not going to enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
It needs to feel like a skill. That's the thing. Personally, I don't want it to make 5 other skills 0 time. And I don't want it to feel like a minigame.
Yeah. The Barracuda trials look really interesting to me. So
Sepulchre, man.
Yeah. I like Sepulchre, so
yeah, but think of this, Storm. Like Sepulchre works well because you are very like fast yourself and you can like make quick turns. But on a fucking ship, you're slow as shit.
That's also true. That's also true.
So I don't know how they're gonna make that work.
They've also said, isn't it going to turn in like an arc as well? It's not going to.
Oh, I thought it was depending on what type of ship you had.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, those courses will be probably everywhere, like in the ocean. But some of the ships cannot sail like certain parts of the ocean. So a smaller ship is quicker, but it cannot sail in like deeper waters. What they like said. So if you're gonna be like doing a ship race on a fucking colossal ship that's gonna travel at the speed of like 1 tile per 3 ticks or whatever, it's gonna be pretty misery.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Like, if they can get the mechanics right, it'll be fine. But the problem is the mechanics are just. It's going to be very tricky because if they're even slightly off, it's not going to feel fun to try and navigate a very clunky ship around.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like trying to do SEP on 2K paying.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much is what it's going to feel like.
While walking.
Yeah.
While walking.
Yeah, I feel like for me, I'm somewhat excited for sailing, but at the same time, it feels like a very dangerous slope.
Yeah.
And I hope that the people they do decide to contact for feedback and stuff are aware of that dangerous slope and that old like Jagex will keep that in mind. because I'm not looking forward to a situation where, just like with runecrafting, you just need 4 other people on your ship doing random shit to
Yeah.
then get the
VM at
most XP
sea.
per hour, and then like at the same time making other skills 0 time. That like those things are definitely what I'm afraid of with the new skill. I feel like for me, there's so much content in the game already. I don't really understand the need for a new skill. But overall, sailing does look like an interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, ironically enough. Where I'm excited for it, but I'm also very nervous that it's gonna have very, very negative outcomes. Like if it just takes a bunch of skills and on your way to, I don't know, 200 mil or whatever, you end up getting like 20 mil mining and 15 mil fishing and all this other stuff. It's not gonna feel as good.
Yeah, and
Uh,
sorry to pick on
No, go
that
on.
again as well. Like, what it then almost feels like everything you've done before that feels invalidated almost. If like, oh shit, I finished fishing already, I finished mining already, and now suddenly if I do sailing, I'm just getting basically 50 mil XP word because it might be one of the more efficient methods to train sailing, and I'm just like wasting time. Like it never feels good to feel like your time was wasted. So that is definitely also a part of what scares me with the bonus XP stuff.
I don't
mean, I feel like-
mind.
yeah.
Go on.
I feel like that's kind of just a product of having played the game for a while. You're always going to feel like you kind of got screwed when a meta shifts, and you did the stuff beforehand. Like you look at RC is obviously a big one, right? You look at people like Pandabra. He did what, solo lavas to 200 mil, and then running became a huge thing, and he just got screwed out of like 1,000 hours.
Yeah,
That sucks, but that's kind of a product of him just doing RC first, and like it's harsh, but it's how a game has to move in order to actually keep a player base.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, I definitely see a difference with a skill getting something new. Like Agility had the same thing with Sepulchre coming in the game, basically half the hours required. And there, I have that feeling less than when one skill is affecting the other skill, like the meta of another skill.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a
And-
method versus a new skill.
Yeah, basically. Like how so much of fishing gets kind of lost because of driftnet, like the same way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm afraid of with sailing, that maybe like that the new skill makes another skill devalidated rather than a new method making the skill shorter.
But with
So
sailing,
just against
we also get.
multi-skilling.
No, go ahead, Budlow.
No, you go.
I was gonna say that with sailing, we'll also get more new skilling methods. I think on like islands, we get new trees, we get new mining spots, probably new ore. So maybe we like fucking pre-tick some aquamarine ore for mining HP in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Big up the aquamarine.
Yeah, and that I would definitely be fine with. It's more the sense of I'm training one skill efficiently, and then at the same time I'm finishing another one. Basically, that stings with me, or like
I'll try to keep the multi like skilling thing out of the heads of pickaxe.
Yeah, like if
I
they
will be there to give feedback. So
Doing God's work.
if they can make it so that like you sail to a particular place, get all your sailing XP by doing that, and then there's a new method on, let's say, that island for one of the other skills. That feels fine to me, you know, because then there's still two separate skills. You're sailing to get to this new method, but you're still having a different skill.
Yes.
As long as you're not punished for having those other skills done, I think it's fine. But if you're looking at it and the highest sailing XP an hour also is giving you fishing, mining, or whatever, then it just kind of screws you over if you have 99 all those skills done.
Yeah, I thought they said they weren't going to do that. Like they wanted, if you wanted sailing to be finished like ASAP, it would just be strict sailing XP. Like they said that would be faster than all the multi-skilling options.
Well, it's not really about what's faster, right? It's more like
But it's faster.
what's more efficient. Because like if
overall.
if it's 50k an hour less sailing XP, but I'm gaining like 15k mining and RC and fishing and whatever at the same time, then it's obviously just way more efficient to do the slightly or not concentrate purely on the sailing XP.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pretty
the
sure
ratio that
those
worries me.
multi-skilling methods will be like more focused on the other skill than sailing. Like you're on the water, but you're doing the other skill while getting like a little bit of sailing XP because you're still
Yeah, see-
like interacting with the facilities on your ship, but not
Yeah,
really.
it's the ratio that worries
Yeah.
me between like sailing and other. If it's like
But
50-50,
that's gonna
it's gonna be fucked.
Nah, it's not gonna be 50-50, I think.
I wouldn't mind sailing being the 0 time if like the new methods are actually fun. Yeah. Like if
Potentially,
it's
yeah.
like 80-20 on like new mining methods, I wouldn't mind that. But the other way around's pretty cringe. It's like you're almost forced to do
Yeah.
sailing if you like actually care about like all skills, which
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
you're not
Yeah,
really
that's not
forced to
good.
do any skills right now.
sailing is
Like that.
0 where up until you have hunter, fishing, slayer, mining, RC done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
I'm not a
be
fan
great,
of that.
really.
Pretty cringe if that's the case.
Like even DriftNet's EHP now, but you're not really for like you could 2-tick to the entirety of fishing and not really care. But
Yeah.
I
And-
guess it just depends how fast sailing actually is gonna be, and whether like if it's super quick, then it's not really gonna matter because
I mean, I can see
it's
it being
just
in
whatever.
the same range as stuff like smithing and herb and crafting, like around the 450 to maybe 500 plus hour range for 200 mil, because
Yeah.
I think they want to make it fast enough that it's not coming out and then people are just immediately complaining that it's too slow. But you can't make it like another con or something like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna
I
be
think-
lower than that, man. It's
I
gonna be
was
like
gonna say
200.
maybe around like 250-ish at 99, if I had to guess.
it's probably
Yeah,
like
well, if it's 400,
another
it's
hunter,
like,
essentially like 700 hours. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
yeah.
because like
mean-
I don't think they're gonna be basing it around time to 200 mil. It'll probably be
No.
time to 99.
Yeah, and I want a fairly like long-ish skill. Like they're not gonna make a new skill that took him like a year for like half the player base to complete it in a week.
What's
Hashtag
long?
Shout out necromancy.
Necromancy was like 24 hours or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also our stream, man.
People got 200 mil in a week.
Yep. I think it was 6 days. I think was the first guy to get it. It's
Christ.
just crazy. But I guess it was a combat skill, and they're all super fast in R3.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
it'd
mean,
be weird if they
they-
balanced it wrong.
But like they even changed how combat worked for in the hopes to make the skill slower, I guess. And then it was still super fast.
well, if people just have infinite money on that game, why would you not spend it on a new skill?
I'm fairly sure the quickest way wasn't even doing the combat; it was doing
just
like
doing
the
rituals.
rituals to like support it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the rituals are basically forestry, where the events give all the XP, not the actual ritual.
Jesus.
Damn, is anything original in these games?
They just pass it back and forth.
I mean, if you think about it, sailing is very similar to archaeology as well, with like you discover new islands and then you do skilling on there.
Yeah,
Same
I
with
mean,
archaeology.
the other problem with comparing it to something like archaeology is that like you're almost forced to do archaeology first because there's so many benefits to other skills to doing it and getting all the relic powers, etc.
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't end up like that. I don't want to have to be, I don't want to look back at it and go, oh well, I guess I should have just waited till now to start my account, because
Yeah,
Sailing is
every
just, like, the
guide
efficient way to
just
do it.
going to be get 99 sailing. In doing this,
Yeah.
you get base 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like barb fishing.
yeah, I mean, there's a few other things in sailing that look pretty interesting. Like the other thing that concerns me about it is it's not just a skill; they are trying to hit everyone. So
Yeah,
they have shit
raids.
PvP because they want to bring in the PvPers. They're going to have raids
Yeah.
because they want to bring in PvMers. And they're going to have But they even have treasure hunting, so they have a clue scroll system for your cloggers, for example. Like, it feels like they're almost trying to do too much with it.
They said yes to everything. They were like, yeah, we could probably do that.
I mean, that's not gonna be on release. Keep that in mind, though.
Yeah, I mean, it won't happen day one. They'll expand it over time, but it still feels like they're trying to. They said yes to so many things because they were like kind of desperate to get it through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To like catch on that as well, like something that I heard people speak about before is that to new content now they almost always add a pit or like some collection stuff because that like almost forces a certain community just to play
To
the
go and do it,
content,
yeah.
even though they might not like it, but it does increase the engagement very easily because I can imagine making a pit is quite easy.
Just make the model.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And usually the model is something that already exists, just a smaller version of it.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10.
So, and like you were saying, Doozy, like that is what I'm noticing as well. They're just adding so much stuff that then forces people to do the content almost, rather than I just hope they make it something fun so that we want to do it because it's fun, not because we feel forced to actually do it.
No, but Storm, you're missing one crucial thing here. Like, people don't play this game for fun anymore. Unfortunately, the big portion of the community doesn't play for fun. They all need like the collection log, like pop-ups and like those
I mean,
those
that
things.
can be fun, right? It's the dopamine of getting a drop. It's the same way back in the day. Like 99 was a huge dopamine. You're just like, I
mean-
finally got 99. I finally finished the skill.
Yes, but that was like a personal achievement. Now they just want like filling up the green slots.
Yeah, or like
Like
the only
people
reason they're
back
going for
then went for
the reward.
99s. Yeah, they wanted like to have 99 in that skill.
Mm-hmm. And like
But
they have
now,
so
Oh,
much
go ahead,
fun with
Storm.
it, right? And
Yeah,
and now it's like, oh, I don't really care about having 99 construction, but the cape is
Mhm.
very useful.
Yup.
I mean, the cape perks were a huge mistake. It's just, they're so overpowered. It's
Well,
unbelievable.
it started with achievement diaries and then the cape perks, and then everything went to shit. But like, people just don't get the idea anymore of like, I don't like a piece of content, so I'm not gonna interact with it. Like, people are just getting forced or being like enslaved to the collection log or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
That's-
enjoy PVM, so I'm not gonna complain about making PVM easier because I like skilling. But like, people do complain about skilling and want to make it quicker.
I just hope we get like 5 well polished things and not 40 half fucking cocked, bugged as shit things.
I mean, for sailing?
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
in general. Like,
Yeah.
I feel they've even like on the release, there's gonna have to be so many different systems and methods sort of ready to go on release. I'm just concerned that they've said, "Oh, we're gonna put so many different things in, and half of them are just gonna be unbalanced or like horrible to do."
Yeah, maybe. I do understand what you mean, but I think they have like 5 or 6 things they want to put out on release, and
I just hope they take their time and don't, because they've given a date, a rough date of end of 2024.
Yeah.
And I really
Yeah, I mean-
hope that if it isn't ready, they delay.
I would rather they push it back again
Yeah.
and just say, look, it's not, the mechanics aren't done properly, so we're
I think
Gonna
they
give it another
probably
month.
will, because it's like the first new skill. It's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, this is also a big gateway, right? Like, if they get this right, then they have precedent to start adding more skills. But if they screw it up completely, then it's going to be very difficult to try and get a second skill in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they've already said
Very
that they wanted to do. I can't even remember the name of the skill. Shamanism. They wanted to explore that because the vote was so close.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely coming in a year or 2 after sailing.
So I don't mind, but like I said, they have to get sailing right, because if they screw it with sailing. It's
Yeah, of
going to be very difficult to have faith that they will get it right with shamanism.
hmm
Yeah, I think being apprehensive is probably, until we actually see something, I think it's definitely going to be a lot of guessing and hoping, but
I don't.
I mean, the other. Go on.
I don't even know if I agree with you, dude. Like, I get the idea of, yeah, if they fail now, people are gonna vote no. But I feel like if we look at the recent trend within the votes, everything just passes. If it makes anything easier, it passes. Like, one of the
Yeah.
only things that I know that has not passed with Slayer was like boss only Slayer Master, and that's years ago. I feel like if that got pulled now, it would instantly pass. And
I'm not sure if it will
I don't
pass.
know.
Don't think so.
I feel like the general outlook of the
Mm,
community,
I mean,
like the base voters, so to speak, is to just vote yes to everything.
if it was polled, yes, but things can also be stopped before the poll,
Oh yeah,
just
yeah.
like the T's, because like the Slayer, the boss Slayer is pretty much the same as T's for skilling.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
you have to be on a task if you're bossing, otherwise you're fucking trolling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same with
Yeah.
the T's, and they got stopped before the poll, luckily.
Yeah, I mean, the T's were so overpowered. It was like you couldn't play the game, or you couldn't skill without using the T's, which is just
Yeah.
never a fun experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think things like that will definitely be not coming into the game if the community is vocal enough about it. But
Mhm.
if those things were actually being polled, yeah, it would pass for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Like almost everything passes now. Like even with the what was it, the blood essence rash,
The scar
scar
mining
mine,
thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
To,
every
like,
Iron
shit
Man
blood runs out.
absolutely wet themselves for that.
Like just if you want to add that, just add blood packs in the shops. That fixes the same issue.
No, shops get bad.
But yeah, Shopscape bad, but it's shop like all this thing is you're still spending your money. You just actually have to do something rather than mindlessly clicking a shop.
Yeah.
A shop, yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
Personally, I would rather do the thing that takes less
Yeah.
mental power.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. The Scar Essence mine is just a little like Fortnite.
It just
Yeah.
feels weird, you know? Like it just doesn't feel
Mhm.
like it belongs in this kind of a game.
It
I mean,
definitely
how that-
feels like Sebe hacked JMod's account, and
I mean, this
Like
whole
top the
discussion
blog.
goes back to
Actually,
like
He was
the
against
fucking
the Scar mine, but
really.
yeah,
Well-
Sebe was not happy with the Scar mine.
Did they say they weren't going to put his gnome cube in it or something? Or
Okay.
No. I think his main
I mean-
issue was like the amount of runes crafted, like 250k runes an hour was too much for him.
I mean, that's insanely high. That's so many runes.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're never gonna need that many runes, pretty much, or like
I
No,
think
it's
that was
kind of
the
you go there.
theoretical maximum.
You go there for an hour and then like you just never have to go back, right? That was
Yeah,
the whole
like
kind of point.
yeah, like an hour every 4 years or whatever.
You better hope they don't fuck up the coding and it gives XP on release.
Man, if it gives XP and someone just jumps up like 5 mil or CXP on release,
you better
Jesus.
know I'm gonna be sitting waiting to see if it gives XP.
Just
I mean,
ready to
I
clap.
think the main problem with the Scar whole mining thing is not thematically. It doesn't really feel like it belongs in old school, but
Mhm.
also the whole thing. What was the thing they said when they brought out Iron Man mode? Oh, we won't be catering to Iron Man. Here's an update that's just specifically for Iron Man, though,
Yeah.
and they've done a lot of that. Obviously, it's just that
I
whole
mean-
game mode feels a bit weird to me now.
I mean, the issue is like the shops. Like the shops were made in like fucking 2002 or whatever, and like not with the intention of ever making an Iron Man game mode.
Like,
And then removing the hop limit made it like viable to hop within like the shops. So
Mhm.
all they need to do is make the shops local to the player like they have in other ones, add blood packs and call it a day.
Yeah.
Same outcome, half the effort.
I mean, some things would definitely break though, meta-wise for irons that way. Like smithing would be pretty aids.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I'm
just
talking
don't
about for
overload them
ring shops. Just do that.
Yeah, but you kind of have to do it for all shops then.
No, you don't. There are some shops that are just iron specific.
Okay. Well, before we just go down a fucking Iron Man tangent, is there anything else about sailing? Because like, I could also see them. You know the way you can kind of fish for buried treasure, or whatever. I think that's one of the activities they said that's in this.
Yeah, trawling.
Where you can like salvage ships or something
Yeah.
like that. That are. I could
Oh
see
yeah,
them
there's like
potentially.
random spawns, isn't it?
Yeah, but they could add, equipment there that could affect. Like let's say they have a new pickaxe or something you find in a ship, and when you upgrade it, it's what's crystal's tier 80, right? So it's tier 85.
Like lost knowledge kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of like it's a pickaxe. It's slightly better than crystal, but it's untradeable, and you have to get it from sailing.
like hero items, but not
Yeah.
quite.
Yeah, yes, except untradeable. I don't want them to be tradable.
Yeah, but then if it's untradeable, we're back at the point that you were against, where you don't want it to be the first skill to do, because then you get the
Does he
stuff
have to
that
get
you
other
need.
stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then is it like instanced for each player, or are you going to get 400 people running to it and clans camping it and
like I also really don't want what happens in RS3, where you combine this pickaxe together with the 4,000 dust you got from doing this activity, and then you combine it with this other thing that you found here, and then like it becomes so convoluted. And for me, a big part of the beauty of old school has always been the simplicity, and like just staying at the core of the activity. Like with woodcutting, click 3, you get a log. Like
Yeah.
And I really hope they try to stick with that.
I mean, giving woodcutting there as an example is probably not the best one, since Forestry kind of fucking nuked that skill. So
yeah, but same thing. Like
I know what you're saying, but like if they managed to like fuck up the most simple skill already, not a good look.
I think they definitely need to focus on the core of sailing before all the bells and whistles that they promised everyone. Because if they don't get the core right, then it doesn't matter what else they add, it's still going to feel horrible to train.
Isn't all that shit coming at this launch anyways, though? Like, I know they have to
I think
poll specific things, but obviously those are going to pass. So.
I don't think they're going to try launch everything at release, because there's obviously a lot, and
I think the majority of the methods are like all the ones that they've described already are coming on release, and then clue stuff and all of that.
Well, but like, are they gonna? Yeah, they're not gonna add like the treasure hunting and the PvP and the PVM until later, right? Because that's so much to release. On release, and trying to release that much at once, guarantee there's something will be buggy or something will be broken, and it'll just have very bad effect on it.
Do you think we're going to get a beta?
Well,
I hope so.
They said so, but the recent betas haven't gone too well.
I mean, one crashed the game and the other got cancelled. So
I mean, I hope they fix whatever is causing their betas to fuck up so badly. Because
the first Forestry beta took down Old School and RS3. That's impressive.
That was impressive, honestly. That one was actually impressive.
But I do think they will have at least closed betas, like they have in the past. Like they even did it for Corrupted Gauntlet and stuff. So
they fucking have to, man.
There has to be at least some sort of beta.
Yeah.
Like the closed beta, what they do, they just like find people in the sailing Discord who have pretty high XP or something, and bring a few of them in for the skilling parts, bring a few well-known PVMers in or whatever.
Yeah.
For the other parts.
Like picking people with high XP could be very dangerous.
I
don't want to name names, but there are definitely a few high XP people I wouldn't want to have direct input on sailing.
Well, it depends, because I don't know if those high XP people are active in the sailing Discord. And I feel like if they're going to pick people, they're probably going to pick people who are active in the sailing Discord, minimum.
Yeah. Or like creators or something. But
creators wouldn't be a bad one. But the problem is,
I just feel like those people will be better QA than their actual QA, because
I
they
think
know
most
how
people.
like they know how to break the game, quote unquote. Like
Yeah.
I'm still surprised that so much content gets released, and on release it's 1.5 tickable, and then they need to hotfix
They have to
it.
nerf it. Yeah, nerf it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just. Do they have a QA team?
I mean, their brain just works different, man. Like they
That's
just
a
don't think
very
of that
valid
shit.
point.
Do they
Yep.
have one?
They make T-bows come out of bushes in the farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Well,
an
I think
impressive one
it's-
as well.
I think some of the issue is the people that are designing the content don't necessarily play the game much, if
Yeah.
at all.
That as
Yeah.
well.
So they can't account for things they're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't stop it being 1.5 tickable if you don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
obviously, if it happens over and over and over again and it's the same person, then that's just on them. But I think sometimes they don't.
I kind of feel like we're at that point though. Like we've had enough releases now where they've had to hotfix it within a day or two.
Yeah.
I think you would
They
be
should be able to look at
surprised.
their
not
past ones and
little.
go,
From
think-
what I know, there's only like 2 J mods that are somewhat higher. I think like mod Curse and mod Goblin or something. Apart from that, I
Nox
know.
Games,
Nox.
oh yeah,
what
true.
about was Bruno there? Bruno was there for a while as well,
Bruno
wasn't he?
Games as well. Like, a lot of them play, but they're not necessarily the ones. They might be the ones that come up with the idea, but they're not the ones that write the code to actually make it a thing. So
Mhm.
those people aren't aware of X or whatever, so
Mhm.
they can't put safeguards in against it.
But like I said, I think we're far enough along in this game's life now that like, and there's been enough releases where they've had to hotfix it the day after because something is broken or they didn't think of
Mhm.
it being abused
Yeah.
in a particular way. Where I don't know if there is an excuse that I just don't really play the game. I just do the coding now. It's like
There should be a list of, make sure if it is an item that you mine, make sure you can't 1.5 ticket.
Yeah,
I mean,
like just
Why
basic
wouldn't you want to
checklist.
1.5 take it? Sometimes that's good.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
be
I
able-
mean, some things just shouldn't be though.
Yeah.
right. I
if
think
they-
it's more like be
Yeah.
aware that it could be.
Yeah.
well, it's less about them not wanting to do it. It's if they don't want it in the game. Like if they don't want a particular method in the game, then obviously you have to code around that to make sure people can't do that method. But the amount of times I've accidentally left that method in and then had to hotfix it, surely they just have a checklist on the wall that just says, "Hey, make sure that this can't be done."
Yeah, I agree.
It just
Yeah.
depends if they know how to do that. So then they can't. If they don't know how to 1.5 tick.
But my point is they've hotfixed it enough. Surely you look at the code that's been hotfixed and go, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is why this prevents this." So we'll just make sure that when I'm coding a new method, that piece of code that prevents 1.5 tick is in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
doubt, man. That would have been.
I
like,
can't wait
3
till
years ago.
1.5 tick my sales.
I
Gonna be.
just think there's going to be so much like methods coming out at launch that there's like a 90% chance there's some Fortnite shit for like $1 million an hour on launch.
Yeah.
And then
It's-
it's
Well,
gonna
that's
get,
why
like,
I
bugged,
agree with
it's gonna
Esk.
get fixed, but it's like someone's just gonna clock like 99 in an hour.
Feels.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I agree with Esk that like I would rather them only release 5 methods on release, but all 5 be polished, than
And
them trying to
tested.
release every single
Yeah,
method
that's-
and then half them being bugged. So
I think everybody would agree on that.
Unless they do the forestry thing and just don't say when the second lot is coming and just pretend it never happened.
Yeah.
I'm like convinced that thing's in the bin now, and they're just gonna pretend that it was never a thing.
I've heard, someone DM me saying that there's gonna be a stream on Monday where they
Oh.
show it off and talk
Okay.
about it.
I can't wait for them to accidentally leave teas into that stream. That'd be so funny.
An integrity change. We're British.
Just have these in the game, but have them do nothing.
I mean, they will be in the game. I
They're
think.
already in the game.
Yeah.
But no effects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Should we do viewer questions as well, or
Good.
'Cause I-
I've seen MLK has been being MLK,
Just
in the
MLK.
chat.
It's literally just MLK.
Yeah.
Well, what is he saying then?
It's, he's just
Ah.
typing. You know how he is.
I don't want to read that out loud.
Come on,
There's a couple
do it.
of them.
For the boys, for the content.
Okay, Max, what is your favorite sex position?
I play RuneScape, so yeah.
That's a good answer.
1.5 ticks.
Oh, there's one from Sal. See how many. Yeah, because there are an insane amount of max players now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy now, actually.
How many of
What's
them
the
are going to reobtain it?
Saul stated, interesting to see how many max players will show up on the high scores after a few weeks of sailing is out. Currently, there's like 30k people maxed.
Depends
Yeah.
on how quick the skill is, but I can see like 10k people having 99 after a month.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say it also depends what they integrate with sailing. If they do go down the route of raids for sailing, then a lot more people will probably get higher levels.
Yeah, because a lot of those max capes are PVMers, right? They're people who got the max cape because it's a pretty broken cape in this game.
Yeah.
But they're not people who predominantly skill. So if they integrate the PvP aspects of sailing on release, I can see a lot more people being engaged with it for longer. They might still get 99 because they might want the cape back. But
I was just going to say, it's going to be funny to see how many people have combined all their capes into a max cape and don't have
a spare max cape.
Yeah, don't have the like unmaxed cape version. So on release, they either have to like go redo Inferno, go get another Vorkath head, or get 99.
Oh right, yeah, because they won't have all the. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Oh, and with PVM part of it, that'd be even funnier. They have to go get another Infernal because their only one is in the max cape. They can't do the ocean raid.
Non-combiners win again.
That's actually a good question from JWet. If you want to read it,
MLK had another one before that as well. If you want to do that one first, and then we can do JWet's, or you could just skip it. It is MLK after all.
Okay.
I feel bad now. Okay, I will read the MLK
I love
one
that guy.
first. Why rush inputting content without successful betas when you already have content in game that needs fixing?
Deadlines and pressure from business people is the TLDR.
They're selling the company, man.
Yeah, having worked in software industry for a decade now, I can tell you that's 99% the reason.
Also engagement, right? Because new content gives a peak in engagement, so then it looks good on their quarterly reports, even if it's just alts.
Yeah.
That's why
You
Leech is
have
so popular. That's why
people
DMM is so popular.
You've got people that don't play the game, that don't know the game, and they're looking at your like list of things and they're going, why hasn't that been released? They don't care beyond numbers and money. So sad reality.
Yeah, all they want is engagement. That's all they care about, is the numbers and the numbers going up. So if it's not going up, they won't really understand why something is delayed. They'll just say that it shouldn't be delayed next time and put it in the game immediately. So that's kind of the short answer to that question, and the long answer, really. What about JWet's one?
Yeah. Once I'm past this sepulchre obstacle, I'll read it out loud.
Not even griefing for the sake of the question.
Okay, there we go. Thoughts on game integrity with plugins? Moving inventory around, left click everything with menu entry swapper. Do you think any of these cross the line for skilling? People talk about PVM plugins being broken, but skilling has been changed the most from plugins. I do think he makes a good point there, where whenever something is broken for PVM, like for example using the visual audio cues to then know what to pray.
Yeah, that got nuked very quickly.
It's an instant uproar, and then something is done about it, and that almost feels like for PVM there's some more integrity still of like we want to show our skill. And I do agree that what JWet is saying of with skills, I have that feeling less. Everyone just wants more quality of life, more like have things become easier and easier. I think the examples he made, I might not agree fully on, especially the like moving stuff around. I enjoy that one a lot, but like definitely
Why
like
do we
left
enjoy
click.
it? Because
Well,
it's easy.
Well,
Easier.
yeah, but it's
I think
easier
there's
in a
still a
different
base
way.
amount of skill required. Like if you take
Yeah,
granite, for example, you can move the invent for the TOA spot.
Mhm.
But someone that can't do granite, moving the
Yeah.
invent isn't going to suddenly allow them to get a record.
That's true, yeah. It's not
So,
like making it brain dead.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
move the invent, which makes the method comfier potentially for you in the long term. But at the same time, it's not going to magically double your XP an hour.
hmm
And I get people think, oh, it's easy escape, and it's something that people can use if they want to, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not
And-
going to change your rates to the point where you have to use it.
Yeah, and I think with left click is very different there.
Yeah, left click is. I mean, if they
like-
bring left click con in, that's definitely
Yeah.
gonna
Like
be a change. But I think they have been kind of careful with what they do and don't allow with that.
I
It also
actually don't,
is
but
kind of
yeah.
a
actually, I think the one that for me I hate the most is walk under, like the shift click walk under. I mean, I hate it from an integrity standpoint because black chins, the hardest part is the movement, knowing where
Is-
to
yeah,
click,
getting-
to move where, on which trap to click, to know on which other trap you're going to end up, so you can do your tick manip. But with
Mm.
walk under, all of that is gone.
Yeah.
You just press your shift key, you click under the trap, you click on the exact same spot again to then do the trap animation. And like stuff like that is where I'm like, that sits kind of wrong, but also now that's here, I will use it because I don't want to handicap myself. With dropping, I feel like, well, that like we had shift click drop and just left click dropping. It is also easier. Maybe it shouldn't be there. But there I see like a gray zone, but definitely the walk under I find
I think
insane.
probably the most broken swaps is the equipped item swaps that you can do now.
that one I think is
So for
probably crossing the line a bit.
like RC and if you do duo or where you actually run yourself, being able to just
left click the ring or the plugin for the pouch swapping depending on how close you are to an altar.
Yeah,
that also feels very
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely going to use it, but
I'm absolutely using it, but at the same time it's like it feels like it's probably a bit too much.
It's more
like if I was still
using it
forced
because it's
to
there.
shift, but if I was still forced to even shift click, I think that would be better than not even having to care about, I could just decide, okay, I'm near an altar, so it's just left click anyway, and it doesn't matter.
You mean like anti-pouch or what?
Yeah,
the plugin that changes
that
the pouch options depending on how close you are to an altar.
Yeah, I mean, I have less of a problem with that than like left click teleporting. I think that is more cringe. Like left click dual ring or
the RC ring from Guardians or whatever
ring.
it's called. It's called Elements.
It's not very hard to like right. That's actually like kind of skill that you need for fast RCing. Right click and then not misclicking on the dual arena teleport.
I mean, people used to just
Castle
AHK
Wars.
that anyways, right?
The amount of times I ended up in
it's just
fucking Castle Wars.
I mean, but then you try to like do that less, so you get better at the method, and your rates go up. But now we just have easy plugin that your rates will always be at the maximum. I think that is a little bit too strong, but yeah, it's been here for ages now.
I also
I'm
think
glad
comparing...
I did RC before that shit came in.
Yeah, I mean, I also think comparing scaling plugins and PVM plugins is very difficult because, well, there is obviously a base level of kind of skill you have to hit to be able to do stuff like granite or get one-to-one rates or whatever. Scaling is not really about being perfect. Like at the end of the day, it's can you do more hours than the next guy? You know, like
I mean, definitely
can you play
terms of
more or can you
200
last more?
mils.
Whereas PBM feels like, you know, it's not about the amount of hours you put into it. It's more, can you hit this specific skill level to be able to do this boss? So plugins that help you kind of cheat to that level feel a lot more impactful in PBM than they do in skilling.
I do agree, yeah.
And
I actually really hate the invent move. I know
Same.
people don't really care
Yeah.
about that, but like, dude, the TOA sand mining is so fucking Fortnite, man.
I mean,
and
don't you move
people
your
say
own
that like
invent
the
bot, though?
rates are like not changing, but what's that?
I'm
What'd you
fairly
say?
sure your invent's moved, Barlow.
Oh, it's like 3 pixels, man. Sorry.
I
It's
think
like,
it's moved.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty moved on my screen.
anyways, I like the cooking invent is
Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
the
real.
bone.
I
the
don't think that's like
the prayer thing where
cooking
you
one.
use
yeah,
the
the
prayer,
bone,
bone
right?
one is
prayer
just-
and cooking is real.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Sam.
Like OP, man.
Yeah, Zam getting the bones to be use the top left one always, so you just
Fucking hell, man. Just
spam
fucking
the
killed
bottom
off
right
all
off.
skill.
Yeah, literally.
Well, one thing I did want to ask, Max, you said that you wouldn't, or you were glad that the RC plugins weren't a thing when you did it. So if you had to do it now, would you use them or would you turn them off?
I would probably use them, I think. Because
I think you have to.
It makes it more consistent and therefore makes the flow better of the method, which I like the most for skilling, like the flow
Lost in the
aspect of it.
flow.
Yeah,
So I
it's-
would probably use it, but if I was already like so used to right clicking, I maybe would have finished like 200 mil if I only was like 50 mil off or whatever.
It definitely feels like people
Like I
People
could have
want to
used
use
it
it.
because it was on steroid. Like when I was doing RC, it was on steroid client, but I didn't use that client because I had like a little bit of morals left.
A little bit of
So-
morals left.
You're Dutch.
A little bit. Yeah.
And then he
but
became a streamer.
that was a bit more later, but no, I'm glad especially also RC solo RC kind of went to shit with the Fortnite pouch. Like I did RC the respectable way, so I'm glad I did it like
Yeah,
when I
200
did
mil is
it.
200 mil.
Yeah, but mine was like more fun in my opinion. Like Dolo is kind of dead content with the colossal pouch.
Yeah.
Like solo is just way too good now to like justify doing Dolo.
Yeah. I mean, something that Onyx said there was that like all the plugins feel very impactful for, you know, records on tempo.
Mhm.
Which is true. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of those records that maybe probably wouldn't even exist if they didn't have some of these plugins. I don't know. It kind of depends on your mindset. Like, I'm not someone who massively cares about the records on Temple. You know, if I ended up getting one, cool. But that's not really something I care about massively. I'm more just interested in getting the XP in. Just consistently trying to do what I can per day. So it doesn't affect me as much. But I can see why people who go for records would rather it is some of these plugins don't exist, right? Because you probably look at some of the mining ones. Some of them have gotten a lot better since these plugins came in.
Yeah.
So
I don't. You say that it doesn't impact you with just wanting to be consistent, but I think the plugins make you able to reach a different level of consistency.
Yep.
oh, I meant specifically about them impacting tempo records.
Okay. Because
Yes, in terms of consistency, obviously the plugins are massive. I wouldn't be able to consistently do the RC I do per day at the moment without those plugins. Or at least it would have taken me a lot longer to get to this point where I'm just sitting at a solid, you know, was it like 97 to 100k an hour solo? Like, it would take me a lot longer to get to that.
Yeah.
But it only took me, I think, 3 days because all these plugins. So, yeah, it massively impacts what I can do per day. But in terms of tempo records, I'm just not someone who cares about the records
Yeah, okay, I
specifically.
get it that way. Yeah.
I think the plugins definitely do help, but as I said before, it's not without the plugins you wouldn't get it. It's just the learning curve is sped up because of them.
I mean,
Mm.
I think even things like anti-drag, we underestimate how much it does.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
Anti-drag's
yeah.
actually massive, yeah. It's one of
Yeah.
those plugins you don't really think about,
Yeah.
but man, it's
or like,
does a lot for this game.
I'm doing Sepulchre right now. I'm just trying to imagine if I didn't have True Tile, I couldn't see tile markers. Like the arrows weren't marked, stuff like that. It feels all very minor, but it makes it so that I'm able to get over 100k an hour.
Yeah,
If I
you would
didn't
get
have
like
that, I would be doing
85k an
80.
hour, man.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
if you didn't have
It's
those
a lot of
plugins.
small hand holding, but it adds up to
Yeah,
a
exactly.
fairly impactful change.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think it's also just kind of
It's
gaming
also
in general,
all-
right?
It's
Like
also
a lot of
all
games are a lot
optional.
easier now.
If you don't want to use the plugins, you can just turn them off.
Yeah.
If they were all enabled by default and you couldn't turn them off, then I think it would be different. But if you do want to play without it because you feel that the integrity is better, then that option is there.
I feel like no one wants to feel like they're wasting time, right? So even if it kind of sits unwell with the morals, then I feel like in the end, you don't want to handicap yourself. Or like some people do want to handicap themselves, but the majority of the people do not want to feel like they're wasting time or their time was wasted.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's kind of almost a product of just modern times anyway. Like you look at games nowadays, and there's very little games that come out that are, you could compare to like 2013, 2015 old school. All the games have massive hand holding in them. They're just completely different style of game, and I feel like a lot of people nowadays prefer that style. So
Well,
it's
also
hard to want the older style back.
It's also the amount of time it takes. A lot of games release now, and people are super hyped that it's an 80-hour campaign. And we're
by
sitting
the way,
here going, oh, okay, well, you need to do over 10 times that to have a maxed account. And I think there's definitely been a shift in the player base from people in uni who have a lot of free time to people that work full-time jobs and have families and X, Y, and Z that they don't necessarily have the time to spend 5 hours a day playing. So if they can
even
get a little
like,
help and speed stuff up a bit, they want that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that argument a lot with the Duke mining of like, oh, I have a wife and kids, I work, I should be deserving of this. And I feel like if you're not able to play the game, you shouldn't be gaining XP, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
Yeah.
and it's similar there for me where if you're unsatisfied with the amount of progress you can make because of your other responsibilities or everything else, you decide that you prioritize over it, then maybe this is just not the game for you. But I understand from a game designer perspective, you want to make the net as big as possible to just catch as many people to play your content and spend time on your content.
I mean, yeah, that goes back to the whole why are they releasing kind of half baked content and stuff? It's like they have to get as many people as they possible playing it. That is their purpose as a company, to make money by getting as many people as possible to pay for membership or whatever else it is. So they're going to be okay with all these kind of plugins that make life very easy, because it means that maybe the person who only had 3 hours to play previously and decided 3 hours is not enough when I have to do X, Y, and Z. But now with all these plugins, like I can spend 3 hours playing the game. I still feel like I get a decent amount of progress done. So
yeah, and I don't know if you guys followed the Hero Pass drama, but I think it's similar there where the
God, that was so badly released. But
yeah, like you really notice that the goal of the company or the organization or the view is changing a lot from what the players want, basically. Where in the past, like 20 years ago, people made games because they liked making games, or they liked playing games themselves and wanted to make a cool game that they would love to play themselves.
Mm.
And now everything is just so monetized, and like the time of and the engagement of a person is the biggest resource that is available at the moment.
Yeah.
And you just notice that with things like this, where everything that is released or everything that is done or whatever shifts is just to make sure people spend more time on your
I mean,
content.
that's an industry-wide problem, realistically.
yeah.
Like, you look at all the
Yeah, that's
AAA
what I'm
games that
saying.
come out now, right? And they're like, hey, it's €80 for this game. There's also only like 50 hours of content.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if
then-
you went back to games from like, I don't know, the early 2000s, or even kind of like 2000, when was Modern Warfare 2? Like 2008-ish?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bit later. You look at that and it was like, here's a game that in the single player is like a 15, 20 hour campaign at most, basically, if you wanted to play through all the difficulties, etc. But you also have the online, and that online didn't have like loot boxes or anything else in it. So there's, a couple of 1,000 hours you could throw at it. It's the same with RuneScape. But nowadays I look at like the new Call of Duties. They release them, the price is even more expensive, there's less in the game. But then it comes to the online multiplayer stuff, and it's like, here's a loot box to get the next hero, or to get a gun upgrade or something like that. So,
I mean,
the industry as a whole has changed massively.
yeah, and even crazier is that nowadays there's even games where you can pay for your single player experience.
Crazy.
I think it was some Star Wars game, if I'm not mistaken. During the single player campaign, you can pay for experience to skip part of the game.
What the hell?
It was not Fallen Order. What was the one before it?
And
The Star Wars series?
if
Jedi something or other?
that's
Jedi
such a
Awaken?
big mindset issue.
Was that the film?
And I understand that the companies add it because people pay for it, and they're like, "Well, this is easy for us." So people pay for it, so of course they're going to add it. But like, it's insane that the mindset from just people that play games has shifted in that way of like I feel like they're not playing it for fun. They're just playing to be able to say to their friends, "Hey, I finished it," or "I beat this," or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean that could get just kind of political with the way the whole world is going at the moment. But
Yeah.
it's very much now it's all about, but can you or as a company, how can I make more money off of not just selling the game, the base game?
mm-hmm.
How much DLC can I bring out? How much extra stuff can I bring in? Like, you look at games like GTA 5 is a great example. How old is that game? Like 12 years old? Yet all they do every year is throw out one extra piece of DLC, and people rebuy the DLC and play for another year.
Mm-hmm. But in the end, I kind of understand that. I do feel like what you pay for is the base content, and everything that gets added onto it, I find kind of normal that you have to pay for it as well. Like with more live service stuff.
It's just when games start like promise you stuff and then take it away and then say it's DLC later, and then still make you pay for the DLC even though you paid for it when it was supposedly part of the base game. That's become a trend now as well, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I do think that bug fixing should not be packaged as a DLC like we see with, for example, I think Diablo 4, where the DLC is basically fixing everything that was wrong with the base game.
There's been people that I've told that I play RuneScape, and they're like, "Oh, that's still a thing." I'm like, "Yeah, it gets weekly updates," and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
I'm like, "Yeah, I pay 60 quid, and I can play for the year and get weekly updates." And they just, I think sometimes we take that for granted.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's issues, and there's a lot of stuff that's a bit of a meme with Jagex, but we get you could do it for free because you can just buy bonds with gold.
Yep.
And get membership. So you can get effectively a free game with weekly updates, which as you guys pointed out, in today's sort of game is very
crazy.
rare.
It's very rare. Very rare. Sam. But yeah, that's a bit of a tangent from sailing.
From an integrity question regarding plugins, but yeah.
Yeah,
That come
I
from
guess
a
we can
fucking
on around.
question.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't think J-Wet really expected us to go down that much of a tangent, but
If
No,
he's
I
even
think
still in
we
the
just
stream.
kind of faded off a bit there.
Yeah.
I don't know
Um,
if there are any more questions we missed in that time or not, or if we're.
I guess I think there was one about aren't the same people who complain about plugins now just the people who were using it for AHK? Oh yeah, aren't the people complaining about plugins now the same people who were using AHK before?
It was Windows mouse
so.
keys, I promise.
All right, man.
I think the people that complain about plugins are the same people that complained about AHK and Windows mouse keys personally.
Yeah.
I think there's I think in a way like Windows mouse keys has some form of extra skill that plugins take away as well. So I can imagine
'cause
there's some
yeah.
people that were using it that don't like plugins as much. But overall, I think the people that had the integrity mindset have always had the integrity mindset.
Not gonna lie, I do miss my drop down. I used that for all of Slayer and absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I don't think like people would 3-tick 4G like they did now if you still had to use drop downs.
Oh,
Like,
not even
that skill would
close.
just be more dead than it already is with VM.
I think
now.
shift drop really helped that out a lot though. Like the second you can in some way left click drop, even if it's having to hold down another key, really made that very, very viable.
Yeah, and having to time when to press it, because if you keep it pressed, you're dropping your herb tar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing, right? Like, you, because of the menu entry swapper stuff as well, you can also change that so that you could just have it held down the entire time, but you still wouldn't be dropping your herb and tar.
So J-Wet's just made a point. You can't even compare AHK to plugins that happen now. One single click to drop an item versus 3 keyboard or 3 keys.
Yeah,
and if
like
you mess up the timing,
right?
if you mess up the timing even slightly on that, you don't drop it, you lose a tick, you're back out of cycle.
Wasn't the reason they stopped AHK? Because it was like skipping inputs?
I think mainly because
some people were making scripts that are essentially the same as the plugins nowadays, where you click it once and it does the whole thing.
2-to-1.
But
yeah.
Just remember to report Coxie.
Yeah,
classic, yeah.
That's
probably about it.
I actually enjoyed RC with AHK, like way back in the day. That was pretty good.
I miss my ZMI, my runner's ZMI. That shit was fun.
It was something therapeutic. I used a drop down for luring on my ult for Slayer. It was something almost therapeutic about just rolling your hand over the keyboard or over the 3 keys to tag things.
Yeah, I mean,
it tickles that part of the brain that just I don't know. I kind of miss it now, but
now you can like prioritize taking loot over attacking and shit. It's just, I mean, honestly, that's actually pretty pog. I'm not gonna lie, but
I honestly think if I was doing Slayer again, I would still use a drop down to attack on the ult.
Okay, I don't think you would do it.
I think he would for a week, and then he'd realize this is stupid. I'm going back to motorway.
I mean, when I was doing Slayer, you could still shift click walk under.
Yeah, like
that was already a thing.
Available.
I picked to do it over.
Yeah,
because it was left click loot for me then.
Okay, yeah.
I put the mobs as always right click, which is why I used a drop down to tag them, and then just spam left click the pile to loot.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
like left click to tag and left click to click up the loot. I think I would have quit like a month ago if I had to drop down every mob.
I enjoyed it. It tickled the brain.
Yeah, I guess that's all we really play this for, right? Tickle
Yep.
the brain.
Bit of brain tickle. Yep.
Yeah. And win any percent speedruns.
Yo,
Percent
I mean,
speed.
that tickles my brain.
Yeah.
aren't
Yeah.
we
That's
all doing an
unsurprising.
any percent speed run?
Huh?
Are we? Yeah, well, I guess you get auto signed up.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So true. I'm losing that.
It feels a bit weird to put like 12,000
I'm, like,
hours into a
paid
speed run and lose
40,000.
it.
Yeah. Fuck.
You got to
I should
run it
pick
back
up
now.
a bit, eh? I should pick it up. Yeah, I'm restarting when sailing comes out, and then all the like multi-skilling's just gonna complete the game for me, and I'm gonna be way ahead.
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
wait for Max to have to redo his series versus Justin because
Yeah.
sailing comes out and it's you get base 80s just by sailing.
Max
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going to be coming with the Bernie Sanders meme. I'm once again asking for financial support.
Yep.
Yup.
Please pay me another 8 bills so I can get crafting and smithing done.
Yeah.
That's like
I'll think about it.
4 or 5 bill I got.
Add in the runners or sailors you'll need for sailing.
Sailors.
Man's
Oh,
gonna
no,
call
I
his
think-
community.
Oh,
Dude. Having
Yeah.
like fucking 4 mini boats following you.
Yeah,
Colossal shit, man.
yeah. I
wait
got
to
a
have
spec
to-
transfer boat, a heal other boat.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
And like a supply trader boat with like herblore supplies so you can make potions on
Yeah.
your ship.
His
Dude,
I can't
entire
wait to
chat
have
is, his entire
I can't
chat
wait.
is gonna be like my captain, my captain.
Oh,
my
that'd be
God.
jokes.
To be
I can't wait
fair,
to have
sailing is going to have
4
some great memes. That's the
Oh,
only
yeah, for
positive thing
sure.
that might come from this.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to have 4 alts have to tank everything just so I can do it on a level 3 because some fucking idiot put pirates
if the
coming in and
pirates
Yeah.
one tick fucking attack and Doozy's just getting sent back to Draenor every time. Or
Yep.
Lumbridge,
Just
wherever
having to
the
like
right.
respawn is.
keep, man. The entire
back to the
skill.
museum we go.
Yep.
Shaking behind the screen. Oh,
Well, I don't think there's anything else from chat.
yeah.
Nah,
think
it's,
We're
Don't we
probably
have any
going to
more
wrap
questions
it.
left?
Huh?
Like,
no, I think that was
What?
pretty much the last one.
I mean, there was some
Or like
walls.
our original topics. Do we not have more?
No.
Well, we spoke
I mean,
about
those
all
were
of
the two
them
big
when-
ones, right? Do you want to talk about Deadman mode?
you
I
want to
don't.
talk about 200 axes?
About what? 200
Yeah.
axes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Change
Yeah.
to 200 axes,
Yeah,
please. To
let's talk about that.
normal woodcutting axe, not some
I,
Fortnite run mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
I voted yes for my 2-ended axe, and then I got scammed because it doesn't exist.
I tried to file a customer complaint. It didn't show up on time.
Yeah. Now I'm just stuck with like fucking T's and 10 people at my tree.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I did some forestry today on the UIM, and it was actually kind of fun. I'm not
Oh my
gonna-
God,
Ah,
Max, come on.
dude.
You
You're
were
like a
looking on
walking
4
contradiction,
accounts.
man.
No, but like
Someone kick this guy out. Get him out of here.
Man was logged in on 4 accounts, scouting worlds for where the
This-
forestry events were with his logout methods. Oh yes,
I
fun
wasn't
still.
logging out, but like
This guy had-
it was pretty fun to do. But it's not woodcutting anymore, so it's like a shit update for the skill. Like it completely ruined the skill, so I still hate it. But doing it for the purpose I was doing it for was actually quite enjoyable.
Uh-huh.
Dude, you had like an AC 130 on Twitter. Over
My
that skill, man.
guy
They
is
copyright.
my guy be coping right now.
What do you mean?
Right, add image,
Uh,
Max, Ruffle.
Oh no, what's this gonna be?
I do like the
so-
5-minute redwood timer though. That's pretty nice.
I mean, do you
I mean, that was a fine change, I guess, but like,
Max? Do you think that 200 axes could be a thing that you enjoy if they change how they work?
Yeah, I
oh,
think
that's
And
quite
for,
what
for
I
anyone
they-
curious, the picture on screen is Max hating the forestry update earlier.
Okay. Okay.
No, but I
Yeah.
think two-handed axes can be kind of cool if it is like a very niche thing that you would use it for, not like a straight XP buff with some Fortnite run mechanic. Like that's just cringe. But if it is good for like getting more logs or something, or I don't know what else they could even do with it, but
Less logs, more XP.
yeah, but that makes no sense, man.
What do you mean? You could big log instead of small log.
Yeah, but that doesn't work in this game, so you would get more logs, so fuck off.
I don't want to drop more. I want
Yep.
to just get my.
Yeah.
Actually, I would be fine with more logs, more XP.
No, more XP is also bad, man.
Oh, it's
Just going around in a fucking circle here.
so
but-
because two-handed axes use run energy, they might not be viable for 1.5 tick, which means they won't affect the app method, which means it doesn't matter.
Well, you would be using the
Yeah.
rations,
They
right?
will still be viable. You can just walk with 1.5 tick teaks and make it
Yeah.
like even more cringe.
Like you can just switch between one tree the entire time as well.
No, the timers don't work on 1.5 tick.
What do you mean?
Like you still like can chop down a teak.
Oh
and
yeah,
one
yeah.
log.
That's not what I mean. I mean
Oh.
like you don't need run energy because you can just stay on
Yeah.
one tree.
Yeah, you can perfectly do it fine, like walking.
And also purple sweets and the food rations. I'm sure you should be able to stay topped up on the energy.
Yep, and then add a
Depends on how much it costs.
spectrum is for
spec
all.
transfer all. True.
Oh my god,
Everything's
more
just an
spec
alt
transfer.
method.
Fuck off.
I need my runners, need my sailors, need my
That's just what you
speckies.
get if you add XP like things to it. Because if you're not using it, you're trolling. So if they just make it so that you get more logs, no XP, then it's like a niche thing.
It's dead content.
Well,
No, it's
yeah, but
good
not
for
really.
Iron Man,
Iron
essentially,
for
right?
construction,
Yeah, it's good for Iron Man for construction, so it's not that
No
content.
Iron Man is going to go
So
and get
who's
Forrester's
making a
rations.
speed run with Iron Man and Ultimate Iron Mans, and why would he want more logs?
He's in the call.
All right.
Damn, it's almost like content creators trying to shoehorn their own ideas into the game.
I don't need more logs, man. I still need to get 9-man
conflict of
woodcutting, so getting
interest.
more logs wouldn't do anything.
It's like the Dutch Sabo.
Conflict
Fuck
of
off.
interest, man.
I swear that guy is like part Dutch anyway.
Oh.
Man.
Already smoked enough to be Dutch.
Also, two-tick could become meta with the two-handed axe, where you
Yeah.
just stay at those two trees.
Big up
yeah,
to
that seems pretty pog actually.
Kind of looking forward to two-tick, not
But-
gonna lie.
Even if EHP rate doesn't actually change, Redwoods is going to be like 0.5, 0.6 anyways, man. So, I mean, I'm just going to do that while I'm on the toilet.
Fucking hell, man. Lazy ass.
Thanks for the detail.
Yeah, no worries.
Picture it didn't happen.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I think someone needs to go to bed.
Yep.
It is nearing my bedtime.
You don't need to run for 1.5
Well, I mean-
tick redwoods.
So true.
That's like, considering you're a Fortnite player, I'm not really surprised you have bed at like 9 p.m.
Yup.
Yeah. Gets tired cranking 90s.
Yep. Was
I-
there any other topics we wanted to talk about?
I think we're done, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, I have a question. Why are the fucking servers always so shit for Deadman mode? What is happening?
Okay.
Getting DDoS, man.
Yeah,
I mean-
man.
I guess DDoS and also
increased player count.
increased player count and them using resources of their existing servers for the new game servers. We're gonna see the same with leaks again, probably, where we're
You
just
also
gonna
got to think there's a
Oh
lot.
no.
There's a
It's
lot
one-
more going on with like the sigils. It's calculating damage
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
quicker and all of that.
I guess yeah, it's changing a bunch of stuff on it, right?
Yeah.
Just- they'll-
League would have part of that because
But-
actually they'll have the same kind of thing, won't they? Won't be
Yeah.
sigils specifically, but yeah.
Basically.
just play on PvP
Ugh.
worlds. They don't use those resources.
Also, Yeah, that's a good
I'm
point.
not doing con on a PvP world because my dumb
I'm gonna
ass
come into
would
your house and start
forget.
barraging you.
I'm in build mode, but it'll be when I log out and I'm outside the house. Or I'd forget and go cut a redwood while I'm eating.
The times I've done my farm run on this world.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's
Oh,
risky.
the amount of times Istra in the evening's been like, oh shit, I've done a farm run on a PvP world.
Yup. But
the whole
he's
cash
looking
stack.
on
Yeah.
Australia anyway.
Okay, note that down. Whole cash stack farm runs. Yeah.
Yeah, but with your ping, by the time you see him, he's already left.
Yeah,
Well,
so
they
true,
have the
man.
same ping though.
No, I think he's talking about my ping.
Yeah, I meant
but you and Isra have
specifically.
the same ping, right?
That's
Oh,
not how
no,
it works, man.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You don't live in the same house.
Yeah, I don't think I'd get the same ping to like a fucking British world from Australia, man.
Wait, I thought he was from New Zealand.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
so
same
confused
country,
right now.
anyways.
True,
Yeah,
man.
same shit. It's all just over
Yeah.
there somewhere.
Same
It's all in the
same
pond.
country. It's just fucking down under.
It's all in the pond, honestly.
It's all just upside down.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Awesome. Well,
Classic.
thanks guys for coming. I'll
You're
be
welcome.
putting this up on YouTube hopefully tonight if my internet allows. So I'll pop that out on Twitter, I guess, when it's done. But thank you very much.
Sweet.
Thank you for hosting.
Cheers.
Yep,
No
thank you.
you.
problem.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.